she asked me in that moment if I wanted just my nails polished, my nail polish done, or if I wanted a full manicure. But since I already told the man I wanted a manicure, I just gathered that she might be asking me that. Do you guys hear the people outside? I'm gonna leave it in because this is just super impromptu and I kind of want you to get the feel of the whole thing. Get the feel of the atmosphere. I'm filming in my bedroom and I don't usually film in here because the outside sounds are louder in here. But I just turned the air conditioner on for some white noise. I'll try to like why are my fingers not in them? And she's like, put your fingers in them. And I'm like, great, you didn't say that last time, and you placed them kind of far from me and then just left. Shouldn't you have like put them next to me and told me to put my hands in them? Like, I don't know, like, you're the boss here. I'm trying to like go by your like your space, your rules, you're the guide, I don't know. So I pull it, she actually pushes it closer to me, tells me put my hands in, looks super irritated. I'm like, great. Now I've, messed up 2 steps of this process. And again, like, I don't know, she didn't tell me anything when she put it there. I guess she just thought I did this a lot and would know, but I don't do it a lot and I didn't know. So I finally put my hand in, I'm soaking one of my hands. She leaves again, no clue what she's doing. I'm just like by myself most of the time, except for the lady that's next to me getting her nails done and that technician. I'm soaking my hand for a long time. Finally she comes back again, and then she starts the process with my cuticles, which I was really glad about because I just really wanted to get that done for the longest time. I'm just going to let some of these fall out because I want to move and make the sounds without adjusting them constantly. So she does her thing, she does the cuticles. However, it's very, very uncomfortable. Like, it hurt, and I've done it before and it's never like hurt like this. It's hurt a little before, like it's uncomfortable, but it's not like painful, like you feel like she's pulling your skin, like you're going to be bleeding, like, and that's how it felt. And sure enough, I'm gonna try to show you, there's like little spots where you can still see. Let me see, maybe they may be better now, but yeah, see this one? Do you see that little spot? That one has one also. I think that did. Anyway, they're like little bits of like blood at the bottom of some of these still because the scabs. So she did not do a good job in that sense, but I was just glad to have them removed and like cleaned up. Okay, and then when she sat down this 3rd time to do my cuticles, she's clearly upset about something, like something's gone wrong, like in her life, whether it seemed work related to me based on the way she was interacting and kind of talking to the technician right next to her. In fact, if you watch the video, you start to see them lean over to each other and flat out cover their mouths and the other person's ear to like whisper. I thought that was hilarious that they were like whispering to each other. I mean, the lady next to me is Egyptian, so she would of course understand anything they said, but I would not have understood if they were whispering without covering their mouths. Maybe I could understand bits and pieces, but I wasn't going to get the whole picture. So she's messing with my cuticles, making me bleed. sitting there the whole time. You can see my other hand while you're working like cuticles. My hand is over here. It's not in the water. So you did not direct me. So she's like, put your other hand in. So I'm like, great, this is super fun. I'm loving this. So I put my other hand in. She gets up and leaves again. And at this point, I think the woman next to me is kind of doing some relaxing things. I kind of had the camera set up so you could also see the technician next to me a little bit doing the other woman's like gel nails. I'm just sitting soaking my other hand. She comes back. There's more whispers, more attitude, more talking to a co-worker, like there's some kind of work gossip situation going on. And she proceeds to do the cuticles on this hand. Okay, after that, she just dries off my hands and then just starts to paint them again. Like there's no like, you know, sometimes they put like some nice moisturizer or something. They give the little hand massage or something like that. I'm gonna leave the honking. I think it's funny at this point. I never leave it in videos. I always edit it out, so I'm just gonna leave it. Sorry, my toe keeps coming into the video. Okay, so she finally comes back, does nothing, dries my hands, does the other cuticles, blah blah blah, and it's not relaxing at all. And then she grabs the nail polish, and she didn't shake it before putting it on. She just like, just started, which normally is not a big deal, but when she put the first coat down, it was like watery, like watery, and so every time she put it on, she'd take a long nail and dig it into the corner of my nail bed to get the paint out that had like drizzled over onto my finger, and she was pushing so hard, like it hurt, and she did it to every nail multiple times. So that was annoying. And it was really, really light. And so she did one hand, then she did the other, and then she went back and did a second coat on the other, and she was like, okay, you're done. And I'm like, it looks real bad. Like it's not finished. Like it's watery. The color's not the color that it should be yet. Could You're not supposed to.